जय जय राम जानकी राम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम। रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम। रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम। रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। तापसरंजन तारक राम। तापसरंजन तापसरंजन तारक राम। दानव मर्दन कोदंड राम। दानव मर्दन कोदंड राम। दानव मर्दन कोदंड राम। दानव मर्दन कोदंड राम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। पशुपति रंजन पावन राम। पशुपति रंजन पावन राम। पशुपति रंजन पावन राम। पशुपति रंजन पावन राम। पाप विमोचन तारक राम। पाप विमोचन तारक नाम। पाप विमोचन तारक नाम। पाप विमोचन तारक नाम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। जय जय राम जानकी राम। जानकी राम जानकी राम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Satgurum Brahmavidvaram. The 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita can be broadly divided into 6 chapters each. 3 categories, 6 chapters each. The first 6 chapters talk about what is our essential nature. What is our essential nature? That is spoken about in first 6 chapters. Next 6 chapters talk about what is essential nature of God. Who is Bhagavan and what is Bhagavan's essential nature? 7th chapter until 12th chapter. That's why culmination of that topic is in 12th chapter, which is Bhakti Yoga. 13th and 14th chapter is talking about oneness. Essential nature of God and my essential nature is one and the same. That is spoken about in 13th, 14th chapter. 15th chapter is summary of the whole topic of Bhagavad Gita. 16th, 17th, 18th are miscellaneous topics. Whatever Bhagavan did not elaborate in 1 to 15, he picks specific topics to elaborate in 17, 16 through 18. Now the beauty is, we are currently in 6th chapter. So right from chapter 1 to chapter 5, Bhagavan has elaborated what is our essential nature. Starting from chapter 2 onwards, where he started telling about the nature of Sat. Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate satah. That which is eternal never perishes. That which is impermanent is never born. The one who knows the difference is a wise person. But Bhagavan understands to directly grasp this knowledge is difficult. There are so many immediate things which are demanding our attention. To directly understand what is our own true nature, mind doesn't go in that direction. So he introduced the topic of Karma Yoga. We should always remember, Karma Yoga is not an independent topic. Karma Yoga is not an independent topic. Devotion is also not an independent topic. It is brought in such a way that we become prepared for the next step of Jnana Yoga. So Bhagavan elaborated different facets of Karma Yoga in 3rd chapter. 4th chapter he touched upon Avatar. Why does Bhagavan incarnate? Those points he mentioned in 4th chapter, so that we can worship Bhagavan with lot of devotion, purify our mind, and come to understand the nature of truth. That's why the last portion of 4th chapter was, this student who has purified his mind, he goes and learns from a teacher. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Now he has done Shravanam, he has heard Shravanam, he has heard what is my essential nature. He has also done Mananam. He has reflected upon all the different facets of Vedanta. Means whenever he hears this statement, you are Brahma, he doesn't start thinking about Brahman to be another person. He knows what is the meaning of Brahma, all the indicators of Brahma, that is clear to him. And he has done his own reflection, how I am that consciousness. Not only he has heard from his teacher, but through reflection he has gained this conviction that I am that consciousness, not this body, not this mind. Now remember, where did he start his journey? Okay, where did Arjuna start his journey? In Shoka and Moha, in Vishada, lot of sorrow. Came to Bhagavan Krishna and said, I have lot of problems, please do something. How did Bhagavan Krishna solve his problem? He told him, inquire into your nature. You are that blissful self which is untouched by this mind, untouched by body. Go and seek it. Now, once the student has understood, this is what I have to seek, he knows precisely where it is available. Now what he has to do is go and abide in that truth. That abidance is going to come through meditation. Meditation is not to realize the truth. Meditation is not to search for the truth. Having realized what is the truth, having found where is this truth, just going and getting it, abiding in it, that is meditation. The three technical words are Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. Shravanam means to gain knowledge. Mananam means to reflect on that knowledge. Means whatever doubts I might have about Vedanta, all those doubts should be resolved before meditation. Having gained that conviction, having gained that clarity, meditation is only for absorbing the mind in that truth. Everything else which comes is a side benefit of Vedantic meditation. This point more we keep reflecting upon, we will benefit greatly from meditation practice. If somebody asks us, what is the purpose of meditation, Vedantic meditation? We should be clear about what is the main purpose. Main purpose is to bring self-abidance. Main purpose is not to gain knowledge. Knowledge will be gained through Shravanam. Knowledge will not come through Nididhyasanam. Knowledge, meditation is also not to clarify doubts. Clarification of doubts will happen through Mananam. In spite of doing Shravanam, in spite of doing Mananam, I still feel I am this person. I still feel world is real. To remove this kind of erroneous thinking is the practice of meditation. We will see the definition of meditation, what Gurudev has given. By the way, for 6th chapter, I'll be drawing heavily from the book Meditation and Life. It's a beautiful book written by Puja Gurudev. All relevant points we will discuss. So with this background, let us look at few things about what is the need for meditation. Main reason for meditation is to remove erroneous notions. That I am this finite being, I am going through samsara. To remove this notion, Vedanta is there. To abide in what I have heard in Vedanta, for that is this practice of meditation. So Puja Gurudev gives a beautiful introduction in that book Meditation and Life. He says first we should reflect upon why do we need meditation. His choice of words are very unique. You can never find it in ordinary language. The first topic he brings up is confrontation with situations is unavoidable. He says our life is such, time and again we are faced with different situations. And one thing I have to remove from my mind is I can escape the situation. Wherever it might be, family-wise, work-wise, social-wise. Sometimes I feel, have you seen that bowling lane, how they put, you throw the ball, what are they called? The pins. They go down, you celebrate, before you see another set is put. By the time you are celebrating, another set is ready. Look at how our life is. We work so hard, we think this problem, if it is solved, everything is good. By the time you solve this, another set is ready. So Gurudev says, confrontation with situations is unavoidable. Bhagwan doesn't give us a choice whether or not you have to face this situation. The only choice we have is how are we going to face it? Only choice available to us is, how am I going to face it? Either situation overpowers me, or I become the master of situation. Only two choices. Here he says, the tool we have to respond to situation is our mind. And if we can bring in this practice of meditation every day, deepen the practice of meditation regularly, that will bring a deep personality to go through situations. That is the first reason he says we have to meditate, because it brings depth in our personality to respond to situations. It is just like whenever we have good night's sleep, without much sadhana, without much effort, next day we feel well rested to deal with day's things. Imagine if you have not slept for 1 day, 2 days. Just that lack of sleep agitates the mind. I mean, the time taken to get agitated will be more if our mind is deeper. Time taken to get agitated, the time delay, it will be longer and longer if our mind is calm and deep. Just like a well-rested person, from morning, let's say 5 o'clock, until afternoon, he can go through his life without getting too much of agitation. Just like we train the physical body, this is training the mind. Training the mind to become calm, to become deeper. That is the first thing. Confrontation with situations is unavoidable. Second thing he says is, just look at the society around. Just look at the way this world works. What you will notice is, there is despair amidst abundance. There is despair amidst abundance. And he says, there is abundance of food, there is abundance of resources, abundance of wealth, abundance of opportunities. In the midst of all of that, time and again we feel equal proportion of despair is also there. Now, this is an honest evaluation of a Mahatma. What he is trying to say is, appreciate what is the benefit meditation is bringing in our life. What meditation will do is, in the midst of abundance, it will tell us how to be content. Nothing wrong with abundance. What is wrong is, or what is problematic is, why should there be despair amidst abundance? And the irony is, our essential nature is bliss. Our essential nature is bliss. We place ourselves in the midst of abundance, and we are in despair. So meditation is that technique which will point us to our own blissful self, in a way that we become better prepared, better equipped to be amidst abundance, yet not be sorrowful. That is the beauty. Ramakrishna Paramamshi gives an example of what is our state sometimes. He says somebody is wanting to cook using that chula, and this person doesn't have fire. The spark to light that firewood he doesn't have. So he takes a fire lantern, goes to his neighbor's house, asking, "Can I get some fire?" I slightly changed the example. He says, there is a smoker who wants to light a cigarette, and is going to his neighbor's house with a lantern to get fire. Means we are Ananda Swarupa. Our essential nature is bliss. And we are seeking that bliss in some place where it is not. Hoping that someday I will get it. So meditation is that technique which will tell us where to seek. More we can align with Bhagwan's thinking, more we can align with his thought process. He'll say, just quieten the mind, pay attention to that blissful self. It is ever available right here, right now. That is one good thing about Vedantic meditation. No postponing anything. No going anywhere. Right here, right now, if we can shift our attention, that is all what is needed. Another example given in our scriptures is musk deer. There is some fragrance which comes, Kasturi Mruga. Musk fragrance is very popular, right? That musk deer ends up running miles and miles trying to chase that fragrance, which is coming from its own body. That is like this sadhaka who is trying to get ananda outside, which is his own true nature. The rishis in the East and Western thinkers, this was their difference. Rishis in the both actually set out to seek happiness. In fact, every philosophy which has come up, the primary question they asked is, how can we be happy in life? Technically it is called as darshanas, different schools of thoughts. They were not curious people trying to just come up with some kind of, books to write so that others can read, we can teach. They had a burning question in their heart. What is happiness? How should we gain it? One school of thought said, entertain desires. Entertain desires and fulfill desires, then you will be happy. And you cannot dismiss this. Let us say you have some desire and that desire gets fulfilled. Do you feel happy or not? See, because we have studied little bit Vedanta, we feel, all these desires. Suddenly we become very philosophical. Whatever desire I have, if it is fulfilled, it gives joy. So they said, no harm in entertaining desires, entertain whatever you want. Work hard and fulfill it. This is which darshana? Charvak darshana, materialist. It's a school of thought. What are they looking for? Happiness. But rishis in the East said, what we have found is, happiness depends a lot on state of mind. If mind is agitated, even if the pleasing object is right next to me, still I am unhappy. If mind is unhappy, the object which I love so dearly is right next to me, still one cannot enjoy that object. So they said, instead of focusing on object, why not we focus on mind? So they focused more on reducing the number of desires, because they found desires are proportional to agitations. Greater the number of desire, greater is our vulnerability, greater is our agitation. They said, reduce it, make it fewer and fewer. That alone is sufficient to be happy. So one took the path outside, another took the journey inside. And when they went inside, they found great gems. That journey within is the journey of meditation. So the second reason Gurudev says is, there is despair amidst abundance. So if we can find our own true nature, that blissful self, we can be happy amidst all the abundance that we have. They are not criticizing abundance. What they want us to do is not despair amidst abundance. Then third point, Gurudev mentions, he says our life has become such that we have lost mastery over our mind. He gives a poetic example. He says, we are like that dry leaf in a meadow. Wherever the wind takes, there this person goes. Means whichever object pulls him, there he goes. He is not deciding where he has to go. Object is deciding where he will go. The other example given in Kathopanishad is of a chariot, which has 5 horses, and each horse is intoxicated. One goes here, another goes here, third one doesn't want to move. He says that chariot will not go to its destination. Like that, he says, our mind has become so turbulent, it doesn't even listen to us. Doesn't even ask us before doing anything. So meditation is that technique which will bring mastery of the mind. Because imagine if you have to sit in one place, pull the mind back, withdraw from all other objects, and do it regularly. That itself will bring a lot of discipline. And great Mahatmas, they have held on to different sadhanas. Swami Vivekananda in particular emphasized a lot on meditation technique. He himself was a very accomplished saint. There is one anecdote in his life about concentration. Swami Vivekananda writes in one place, man is measured by his ability to concentrate. What is the greatness of a person? Greatness of a person is his ability to concentrate. And he was fond of reading. His brother disciple's name was Swami Abhedanandji. He sends him to the library to get some book, very thick book, and it was a sequel of 7 volumes. Swami Vivekananda sees that book. In one day he finishes reading it. Gives it back, says, can you bring the second one? Abhedanandji goes to the library and gets the second one. Second day he finishes second book. Goes again. The librarian says, for whom are you taking this? He says, my brother monk is there who is reading it. He says, he's not reading it. He's just faking that. He's reading it. Nobody can read this book in one day. And it is said, Swami Vivekananda goes and meets that librarian and says, ask me whatever you want to ask. And he responds also whatever he asks. The point is, just like things come through training, ability to concentrate also comes to a training. It is not a random thing that suddenly will get instilled in a person. So meditation is that investment to develop our faculty of concentration. Look at the beauty of Gurudev's presentation. First he mentioned what is the primary purpose of meditation: to remove erroneous notions. But that alone doesn't look appealing. Right? You need some other carrots, other benefits. So how nicely he has given 3 benefits. First one, he says, situation confrontation is not optional, it's unavoidable. So meditation will give me that depth. And God has blessed me with so much of abundance in life in several ways. In the midst of abundance, I will learn how to be cheerful. And third one is, abilities of the mind will be harnessed to its maximum potential, so that we can ourselves benefit from what this mind is capable of. 3 things he mentions. Now, Gurudev gives a very beautiful definition of what is meditation. You will find Sanskrit verses to map this definition, but he has given in simple English. If you want, you can write it down. What is meditation? He says, engaging the entire mind. Engaging the entire mind in the contemplation upon the divine. in the contemplation upon the divine. Engaging the entire mind in the contemplation upon the divine by maintaining steady flow of similar thought current. By maintaining a steady flow of similar thought current. By maintaining a steady flow of similar thought current to the exclusion of dissimilar thought current. To the exclusion of dissimilar thought current is called as meditation. Is called as meditation. Now this definition includes definition of meditation in Viveka Chudamani, Panchadashi first chapter and 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Everything compacted in one simple line. What is meditation? It is engaging the entire mind. You can underline the word entire mind. In the contemplation upon the divine. You can highlight or underline the divine. By maintaining steady flow of similar thought current. Underline similar thought current. At the exclusion of dissimilar thought currents. You can highlight dissimilar thought current. Means first thing is, when I meditate, it should be wholehearted meditation. Sometimes people say, right, can I meditate while walking? I heard recently there is meditation you can do while sleeping also, it seems. Lying down you can meditate. Generally, we don't like rules. If you say sit straight, keep your back, neck, head in straight line, we don't like it. If somebody says sit however you want, I say I like this teacher. Very good, he understands me. So first thing Gurudev says is, in meditation, we have to be willing to engage our entire mind. Means meditation is a very sacred practice. We have to carve out time, we cannot do it in the midst of other things. That's a different type of meditation, I will discuss it. But here he says, our entire mind should be available to me. Second is, what are you meditating upon? See second line what he says, contemplation upon the divine. If I focus my attention on tip of the nose, it is not meditation. If I focus meditation on breath, it is not meditation. Any object I focus upon, it is not Vedantic meditation. In Vedantic meditation, what is the object of contemplation? Divinity, Brahma. Now what is that divine? Where will I get this knowledge? Not in meditation, in Shravanam. When I hear about Vedanta, I will know what am I meditating upon. Actually, when we study in Sandeepany, meditation is taught to us after 1 year. In spite of having 4 classes of Vedanta in a day. Because the point is, we can meditate, but the question is, what are we going to meditate on? So when we have sufficient data and doubts are cleared, then we can meditate. Okay? Meditation is engaging the entire mind in the contemplation of the divine. Next point is also important. By maintaining steady flow of similar thought current. Thought of Brahma means no thought of world. Brahman is not an object of thought. Just like you can think of this phone, you can think of mountain, tree. We cannot think of Brahman as another object. So what are we going to think about? Whatever is the indicator of Brahma. Indicator of Brahma will be pointed out as it is a witness of thought. So how are we going to think about Brahma? First, from the world, bring attention to thoughts. That which is witnessing thought, just become aware of it. That which is witnessing the thought, become aware of it. Whoever is the witness is different from the witnessed. The seer is different from seen. So I am seeing my thoughts, so I have to be different from thoughts. No matter what this thought is, no matter which thought is there, is it just shift attention to the witness. And this similar thought current I have to maintain. You can switch between different indicators of Brahma. You can switch between different Upanishad mantras. That is not dissimilar thought current, because every Upanishad mantra is talking about same Brahma. But what we have to try to remove is dissimilar thought current. That is the last line, right? At the exclusion of dissimilar thought current. Means when we sit down to meditate, we'll realize one thought is of Brahma and 15 other thoughts are about the world. And that ratio should keep changing. So a time should come when, if I'm meditating for, let's say, 15 minutes, initially it would be 15 minutes of preparation only. Very rarely this mind will be really turning towards the self. But a time should come when at least 5 minutes we are able to put our mind in that truth. Exclusively think about that truth. Remaining 10 minutes is okay. This ratio is true for longer meditation also. If you sit for half an hour, it's very much possible that effective meditation is 5 minutes. The net what I get is 5 minutes, which is okay. Advanced meditator, that net is longer. How to get to that point is the topic of 6th chapter. How to get to effective meditation, that is the topic of 6th chapter. This definition is something we have to keep reflecting upon. It will give lot of clarity and force in our meditation practice. Every word we have to reflect. As I had mentioned, there are 4 topics in this 6th chapter. The first topic is lifestyle of a meditator. 4 pillars of meditation, if you want to call it that way. Lifestyle of a meditator. Second topic is preparation for meditation. Preparation for meditation. Third topic is the technique of meditation. How should I start? What should I do? Precise technique Bhagavan gives. Last topic is what obstacles can come in meditation. Arjuna asks this on our behalf. If you read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, elaboration is there. What all obstacles can come. But here Bhagavan gives very simple obstacles and how to overcome those obstacles. Now the verses of this chapter, if you want to just write down topics, how they are split up. Verse number 1 to 9 is lifestyle of a meditator. 1 through 9. Verse number 10 through 17 is preparation for meditation. Verse number 10 through 17 is preparation for meditation. Outer preparation and inner preparation. Both he mentions. I'm giving these topics because when we complete the chapter, you have to go back and see whether you got what was promised. Any doubts we have, we can always go back to these verses. 18 through 26. Verse 18 through 26 is the technique of meditation. 18 through 26 is technique. Vedantic meditation, what is the technique? 27 through 32 is result of meditation. result of meditation, 27 through 32. 33 to 47 is Q&A. Arjuna asks a question. 2 questions he asks. One is about few obstacles which we face. And second, he says, what happens to that person who has given up karma, but he has not attained nishtha, not attained conviction yet? Means because he dropped karma, he is going to lose the benefits or results of karma. Neither he has gained his moksha, so he has not attained that liberation also. Such a person, what happens? That Bhagavan is going to answer. So with this, you have your 6th chapter in your hand. Slowly we will elaborate, but these are the main topics. Now let us see the first verse, that way we start the chapter today. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Anashritah Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yah Karyam Karma Karoti Yah Sasanyasi Cha Yogi Cha Sasanyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnir Na Chakriyah Na Niragnir Na Chakriyah Anashritah Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yah Sasanyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnir Na Chakriyah. If you want to give a title for this verse, what is the lifestyle of a meditator? Bhagavan says, meditator is somebody who lives like a monk. Lives like a monk. Sanyasi. What is the definition of a sanyasi? Bhagavan says, sanyasi is the one who doesn't have over-dependence. Anashritah sanyasi. Ashraya means to depend, to take support. Anashrita means one who has dropped over-dependence. On what has he dropped over-dependence? Karma phalam. Karma phalam means results of action, but we can categorize it into 3 parts. He has dropped over-dependence upon people. He has dropped over-dependence upon object. And he has dropped over-dependence upon outcomes. People, object, and outcome. See, karma phala, for a long time in our mind, it's always a fruit. Phala word is there, right? So we think karma phala means something is there. The people whom we meet is our karma phala. The objects which are there around us is our karma phala. The outcomes which are going to come because of our karma is called as karma phala. So when you dive a little bit deeper, something new opens up. That who is this sannyasi? He doesn't have over-dependence upon people. For his emotional happiness, he doesn't, what is Gurudev's quote? Put keys of his happiness in somebody's pocket. There is one beautiful line in one Subhashita. We have to mark it for life. But understand it in the right way. It says, Agate swagatam kuryat, gachantam na nivarayet. Who is a wise person? If somebody comes in his life, somebody comes to him, he welcomes them with an open heart. Agate swagatam kuryat. Gachantam, if somebody wants to go, na nivarayet, he doesn't stop them. this, where we had seen Bhaja Govindam. What did Bhagavan Shankaracharya say? Shatrau mitre, putre bandhav, ma kuru yatnam vigraha sandhav. He says in enemy and friend, in putra and mitra, in relatives, and ma kuru yatnam, shatrau mitre, putre bandhav, ma kuru yatnam vigraha sandhav. Don't go out of the way to build friendship or to keep somebody away. He says it is formed because of karma. Whatever the Lord decides, go by it. So who is a sannyasi? The one who can live this. Anashrita karma phalam means it doesn't have over dependence upon people. One thing we have to remember, we come into this world alone. And our journey is solo journey. Any sambandha we have is just to help us attain our true purpose of life. Have you seen this Ramanand Sagarji's Ramayana? In the beginning they used to show something, there is a galaxy kind of a thing. Lot of stars are there, and one jyoti comes, one flame comes, it merges in that galaxy, and after some time that star goes away. I don't know if it was Mahabharata or Ramayana, either one of these two. Mahabharata, I think. Mahabharata. The idea was, we start our journey alone. In between we have lot of company. But main journey is to be traveled by ourselves. So that person who doesn't have over dependence upon people, that person is a sannyasi. Now second thing was objects. He is not ashrita on objects also. Ashrita means dependent. There was one Mahatma Ji, lived a very pious life. One day he was eating dalia khichdi. Dalia, what is it called in English? Broken wheat. That khichdi he was eating. Very bland, no salt, nothing. Happily he was eating. There was another person who comes and says, if you had pleased the king, you wouldn't have to eat dalia khichdi. If you had pleased the king, you wouldn't have to eat dalia khichdi. He says, if you were happy with dalia khichdi, you would not need to please the king. Whatever God has blessed us, if you are happy with it and not dependent upon objects, we will be independent. So that person who is not dependent upon objects, Bhagavan calls him a sannyasi. And third one he says, outcome. Outcome is a result of action. We are doing certain things right now. How is it going to turn out? First only Bhagavan said, you have no control over it. Right from 3rd chapter he has been saying this. Ma phaleshu kadachana, ma phaleshu kadachana. So sannyasi is the one who understands this fact. He is not over-dependent upon the result to define his happiness. The one who is able to live this, Bhagavan says, that person is a sannyasi. He goes one step forward. He clarifies who is not a sannyasi also. You see the second line? Sa sannyasi sa yogi cha. One who has practiced these three things. One who is anashrita karma phalam. Karyam karma karotiha. Karyam karma means whatever duties he is supposed to be doing, that he does. As a parent, what he has to do, he is doing. Without having too much of anxiety about karma phala. Different roles he is playing, duties he is doing well. Now who is not a sannyasi? Na niragnihi na cha akriyaha. It is said whenever we take formal sannyasa, they are not supposed to touch fire. They are not supposed to touch fire, meaning the Agnihotra ritual, which a Grahastha does, or supposed to be doing, that ritual he doesn't have to do anymore. Agnihotra we had seen in Ramayana, Vasishtha Maharshi, when he climbs on his chariot, along with Arundhati ji, he takes that fire, Agnihotra fire, and the ritual is Grahastha, once he is married, all the way until his last breath, he does that Agnihotra ritual, and with that same fire, his next journey is taken forward. Bhagavan says, sannyasi is not the one who has given up Agni, and also not the one who has given up Kriya. Kriya means different actions. So when we say karma sannyasa, Bhagavan says karma sannyasa is good. Along with that, what is most essential is we have to give up dependence upon people, objects, and outcomes. Anashritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha. The beauty is, if there is a grahastha, Bhagavan is calling that person as a sannyasi. Means if somebody is able to have this thought, who is not dependent, one who is still in karma yoga, Bhagavan says that person is a fit candidate for meditation. Sannyasi word is in that context. He is going to define now what is a lifestyle of a meditator so that he is fit for meditation. That is the main point. Sa sannyasi, sa yogi cha. Now somebody might ask, why do I need to pay attention to lifestyle? Can't I just do my meditation? Will it not give the result what I am looking for? Why all these things are mentioned? Don't have insistence on results. Don't get over-dependent upon outcomes. One thing we have to notice, different practices will give different benefits. Different medicines have different cure, right? Like that, different practices have different benefits. Let us say there is a swimming pool. Okay, in that swimming pool, if you want to hold the water still, what is the method? You put a pool fence. If there is lot of wind, you want to hold the water still, you put a pool fence. But if water is impure, you want to cleanse that water. What is the remedy? What do they put? Chlorine. Put chlorine. If you put pool fence, purity of water is not going to change. If you only put chlorine, the agitation in water is not going to change. Every remedy has a specific reason. Now come to mind. If mind is having distraction, mind is having agitation, meditation practice will quieten it down. Meditation practice is like putting the pool fence. You are withdrawing your mind from everything, sitting in one place, focusing the mind on Brahma. But if problem of a sadhaka is impurity of the mind, transactions are bothering, meditation by itself will not address that particular problem. That will be addressed through alert living. So Bhagavan spends 9 verses to explain how important it is for a meditator to spend his 23 and a half hours properly. He even includes sleep there, so that his half an hour meditation is productive. There were 2 brothers. Both went to the doctor for blood pressure. They said, we are having some pressure issue. Let us go and get our checkup done. Doctor gave same medicine to both of them. And he said, cut down on your salt, eat this, take this medicine, everything will be fine. One brother took the medicine and followed the instructions, cut down on salt, started living his life like that. Second brother thought, anyway I'm taking medicine, right? So it is already working. Little bit of salt is okay. So he continued on his salt and went on with his life. 3 months down the line, pressure issue of first person got cured and second person got more aggravated. And he goes to the doctor and starts complaining, you are biased towards my brother. You gave him something that worked for him, did not work for me. What will the doctor say? Medicine will work only as long as you maintain a conducive lifestyle. I gave the same medicine to both of you, but one followed the diet, other skipped the diet. This is our story. Shastra is telling us, if we meditate, we will get all those 3 benefits. Mind will become calm, we will get more self-abidance, our vyavahara will be with more depth. But many times we try to do meditation and we feel, I'm not seeing the result of meditation. So what will teacher say? Meditation will work only when we maintain conducive lifestyle. What is that conducive lifestyle? First one Bhagavan mentioned here. Anashrita karma phalam. Don't depend on people. Okay, one more word you add. Don't have over-dependence upon people. For emotional happiness, emotional well-being, don't put that, don't invest it in any person. Not in objects, not in outcomes. Be independent and content with doing our work well. Karyam karma karoti yaha. Karyam karma means whatever is his duty. Based upon his role, he is given a duty that he does very well. That person is a sanyasi. Internally, he has taken sannyasa. More we will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.